Took me a little bit longer to get live, and the reason is, see if I can do this without blocking you. We have something exciting happening here. Let's see if I can show you. I think that's the button. There. See that? We are getting 34 bales of hay right now. So that's pretty exciting. That's why I'm a little bit late. But today for our live, Dan will join us later on if he can. I don't know how long it takes to unload 34 bales of hay. So we're going to work with a handful of different animals. I have 4 separated. And what we're going to do is work on feet. Okay. So we have Ding here. And with Ding, we are working on his feet, and he's a little kicky with his both of his hinds actually. And then I have my oats, my oat pouch. This one is not my favorite oat pouch, but I was trying to get everything set up. So I have different things set up at different pens. That way when I transfer to pens, we will have everything we need at each pen. All right. Now, Ding already accepts halter and basic leading. Of course, he accepts touch. But he is a little bit nervous. Do you see that I just moved my hand a tad and he's like, oh my gosh, should I run? But he stayed with me. Remember the power of the pause. So I'm just going to pause and say, hey, I see you got a little nervous. It's okay. Even my voice. Remember, the more we can be very monotone when we're working with a wild donkey, the better off they're going to be able to adjust. Now, some people like to be spastics right away, and the donkey can just learn to cope with that over time. However, I like to help them be comfortable with me and introduce my spasticity. I'm not sure if that's a word, over time. So I want to start building up their confidence and then adding more. So if you're dealing with the donkey who you're trying to learn to pick up its feet or teach it to pick up its feet, or maybe it's not wild and it just doesn't do well with its feet, I like to start with a long brush, because if they want to be kicky, that's okay. I mean, obviously it's not what I want, but if they want to be kicky, that's okay. Kick the long brush. Let's help you be comfortable with this. And then over time, you will learn your comfort. You're going to learn your coping skills, and then I'll be able to put my head down there. Remember, when we're preparing them to accept having their feet picked up, having somebody do it is a whole nother level. So at first I will be able to do it, but that doesn't mean Dan could do it, or the farrier could do it. We have to introduce all that stuff. Now the reason I started with him, like Dong, we are starting to pick up his feet with our hands. When I say that, we're asking him to pick up his foot when we ask for it with our hand. We're not holding it yet. All of this stuff it progresses in stages. Now with the semi here and Dan unloading hay, there's a lot more commotion. Keep in mind what is happening around you so you can set up your donkeys for success. Hi, how are you? It's always such a good thing when they want to smell your breath, guys. Such a good thing. So as you could see just from me standing here and talking, he's a little bit nervous, and that's okay. Let's start with what he already knows. So when I do that, when I say start with what he already knows, let's start with nose. Deet. We're building up his confidence and doing what he knows. Put your hand straight in front of him to feed him their oats. When we're first teaching a donkey to take oats from our hand, we might be like this, right? Because that's all the closer we can get to them. But we need to graduate away from feeding them away from in front. We want them in front, not to the side. Now, just from me doing that, you see how he's leaning away. He's nervous right now. We'll just help him through that. Nose, deet. Remember, deet, it's like feet, but with a D. And that's just our bridge word. When we say that, that's when they found the right answer. And then they found the right answer, and then we give them their pay. So it's just kind of bridging the right answer to the food pay. I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to chase him. Like, this is real time training, guys. There's life happening at the farm. Makes them more nervous, and that's okay. We're developing coping skills. Don't chase them around trying to give them their pay, though. Now, after we do nose, the next thing I teach him is neck. And he does know these. We'll see if he can do it. Neck. That's your cheek. I want your neck. That's your muzzle. Still don't have your neck. And he wants to smell it and investigate. That's okay. Neck. Deet. Now he found the answer. Remember the power of the pause. He wants to investigate. Just pause and let him investigate. It's okay. It's not hurting anything. So if you guys are watching, mention where you're watching from. What are you working on with your donkeys right now? We have Ding, who we are working on helping him understand to pick up his foot when we ask. We have Dong, who we are starting to ask him to pick up his feet with our hand. We have Wuzzy, Wuzzy, who is accepting a halter now. That was just yesterday for the first time. And then Fuzzy, who we are touching him on his left side, and he's pretty comfortable with it. And we're still working on touching him on his right side. You want to do neck over here? We'll do nose first. Deet. You can see this is a very high-tech long brush, just with a toilet bowl cleaner on the end. Neck. Deet. Good job, buddy. Remember, try to keep all your movements like really slow. Think of a ballerina and not a, I don't know, jamming out rock star, I guess. Hopefully my phone handles the heat, the sun right now. Oh, hi, buddy. All right, are you ready? So now from here, we're going to do the countdown. 5. The countdown, the rule is they can't move their feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. Now, if they start to lean while you're doing the countdown, just go up higher. You don't need to restart right then. Just go up higher to where they're comfortable, and that'll be just fine. And then in between each animal that I'm working with, I will come and just check on the messages. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. Now remember, all of this stuff doesn't happen forever. This is helping him get comfortable with that touch, with the idea of being touched. Later on, when I'm picking up his feet, I'm going to be able to feel any leaning or hesitation or tenseness just when I run my hand down his leg to pick it up. So this is all just introduction stuff for him. Now, I like to do things in 3, and remember, we're reviewing what he knows first. So that was countdown. I'm not going to do 3 for the countdown, though, but I am going to do 3 for picking up his foot. Foot. Deet. Now, right there, he backed up a step. That's not ideal, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm still working on his comfort. As he starts to understand what I'm asking for, he won't back up anymore because he'll be comfortable. Now, if he is committed to backing up, I would tie him up to help him through that. Foot. Hi, buddy. Deet. Now, notice when I released for him, as soon as he started thinking about bending his foot or like bending it before he picked it up, I want to release at the thought of doing what I'm asking, not once he does it. And you see how he put his foot over towards me? He says he's ready to go again. Foot. For it, guys. Deet. He was starting to paw. That's a little bit of impatience. Now with his back feet, I'm going to do the same thing, but because he is a little bit kicky with his back feet, I think I should do more of the countdown because we're always just trying to help him feel comfortable. We're not doing this side right now, not yet. And sometimes we're at liberty. Sometimes they want to move and walk around more. And I'm not worried about that. That's just him telling me how he feels. So I'm going to note it and just keep helping him have comfort and clarity, right? That's the 5 C's, one of the 5 C's. You see how he's leaning away from me just a tad? He's in a little bit of the shape of a C going away. Just be noting all of this stuff. You ready? There, he tilted his head towards me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. So you see with the countdown, he does well, and he doesn't really respond at all, which is good. But once I start holding the brush there to ask him to pick up his foot, that's when he starts to kick. If they do kick, it's just a whoops. Wait for them to be done chewing any oats that they have in their mouth, and then you start over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. So we're going to do that one more time, and because he's doing so well after 3, we'll go ahead and start asking him to pick up his foot. And you see how he tilted his head towards me? He's ready to go again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Did you guys see him tuck his butt a little bit? Tucking his butt is communication. He says he's a little bit nervous. All right, now we're going to ask for his foot. Foot, deep. I released at a good timing there where he just was thinking about picking up his foot. That's such a key thing. When we wait, even if it's 1 second after they do it, that's too late. And I never used to understand how small of a window we have for timing. Okay, so he did well, but now he has to move around. Just a sign of where he's. But we're not doing this side yet, buddy. Give him a moment, guys. When you're working with your donkey, there is so much standing around and waiting. So much. And we need to be prepared for this because this is where they're developing the coping skills. Right now, if you look at his mouth, it's pretty tight. He has wrinkles on it. It's not just loose and light, it's tight. And he's coming into me. He still wants to be engaging with the activity that we're doing. So when you think you've waited long enough, wait a little longer. He just started chewing again. This is all the stuff that we're watching for when we're waiting, because waiting is one of the hardest things to do. Look at him come, like, okay, I'm ready for that foot again. All right, here we go, buddy. Foot. Oh, I could have rewarded that, and I kind of hesitated. Foot. Deet. That was good. Yesterday, he was pretty kicky. It's been kind of busy around here, guys. We went to go look at a donkey. We were going to buy it, and it wasn't as big as we were kind of led to believe that it was, and so we did not buy it. Bring in donkeys to the vet to check for pregnancy. There's been a lot going on, so these guys had some time off. Foot. Deet. That was really good. I am so pleased because yesterday, oh my, he was kicking a lot. Now, it's so important if they do kick that don't let your emotions get involved. If they kick, it's not personal. They're just nervous. So if they kick, it's a whoops and you start over. Let them get done chewing any other food first. I want to get him a little bit further away from the camera so that we know. I want to make sure his feet are in it. All right. His feet are in it. So now I'm going to come over here. We'll start working on his right side. And we already did nose and neck, so now I'm going to do the countdown. Now, while I'm doing this, be watching for any shifting, any nervousness. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. Keep that pay right in front of them, straight in front of them. It's easy to kind of get sloppy with that and let them come to you, but letting them come to you for pay will create a pushy donkey over time. And you see how he turned his head? Oh, but he also had to take some steps. So even though he's kind of acting like he's ready or he wants me to work on his other leg, I'm going to wait it out right now, guys, because remember last time he acted like this with me on his opposite side, and then he started chewing again, and then he switched and he gave me the side we're working on. They really are smart enough to figure this stuff out. Now, I don't want him totally coming into my space, so I'll just ask him to get out. Remember, we have to be oh so consistent. Hi, you. All right, here now I would say he's ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. The semi is all unloaded, guys. We have 34 new bales of hay. It looks really good. And you know what that means? Now we can go back to Delta and get more donkeys. We've been waiting because if anything, well, there was hang-ups, we didn't want to run out of hay, right? So we've been waiting to go get more. Right now we have 10 available for adoption at the adoption center here. And there'll be a plan to go get 12 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. He moved after I said deet, so I'm not going to be concerned about that. But did you see him start to lean? And when he leaned, I just stayed where I was at, or I go higher. I don't stop the countdown when they do that. Now we'll ask him to pick it up. There, he turned his head towards me. Foot. Wait for it. Oh, he shifted. I could have, there, deet. So right there, he shifted. I could have paid that, but he does pick up his front feet really well. He seems very comfortable with it. So then I was waiting for a little more. Remember, everything that we do with these guys is a progression. At first, you could pay them for the wrong thing because they're thinking, but later on, they're going to have to do more. Did you see him put his foot closer to me? Foot, deet. Now remember, when we're working with this stuff, we're really trying to get to their mind. So could I um, do this other ways? Yes, I can. But what's most important is that their mind is saying, yeah, I'm willing, I'm able, I can do this. He's got to go. Do you see that? So we'll give him another minute to process. Sometimes what I notice when Dan and I are down here working is a donkey could be rocking it and doing such a good job, and then all of a sudden things start to fall apart. And often what we notice when that happens is they're used up. Now, typically we use a 15-minute rule where we will set a timer and go for 15 minutes. But that's not always enough. Sometimes we have a donkey who their limit before they've hit the end of their coping skill abilities is 5 minutes. And it seems so short, right? But that's okay. They can build on that. It just is a starting point, is all it is. So now we're waiting for him there. He's starting to get ready to shift. And he's going to say, I'm ready for you to work on my opposite side. But I don't want that. And I want you to be out of my space. There you go. We're still waiting. I could walk over to the other side, but it's kind of fun to see what they do when you wait. There he's starting to look and chew again. I still want you out of my space. Are you going to give me your other foot again? What do you think? So now I'm starting to feel impatient inside. We've waited a long time. Should I just go to the other side? And this is going to be a judgment call. Whenever you have those feelings inside, should you wait longer or should you move to the other side? And it's a hard one to decide. But look at that. Just by explaining to you, he decided to come over here. Are you ready now, huh? All right, here you go. Foot, deep. Walking forward is not ideal, but that's okay. We'll keep working on his comfort and build on that. Now, when I quit, any activity that I quit, I think he was kicking at a fly. Um, I want it to be where his mind is really, really with me. Now let's turn so they can see your butt better, huh? Come over here. Come over here. Donkey. It's a good boy. That's a good boy. Now I think they'll be able to see your foot very well. There you go. Good job. Okay, we'll start with a countdown. Do you see how he's leaning away? Just pause. Remember, the pausing is so important. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Now, another way I used to do this I would actually have them target the blue part of this to pick up their foot and touch it instead of touching their leg and waiting for them to pick it up. Fly season is really helpful for that. You can touch their leg a handful of times, like maybe 10, and they do start to get it. But when I'm working with so many donkeys, I don't find it as helpful to teach them to target it versus just to teach them to pick up their foot when I ask. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. So because of that, I've kind of let that part fall away from how I teach them. But remember, there's more than one way to do things. We're just trying to help them find comfort and clarity in what we're asking, create some curiosity. Right now, his head is away from me. He's chewing, leaning in towards me. I would say he's getting pretty close to ready. I'm going to do one more. So we're doing 3 for the count because I'm really trying to build his comfort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Now we'll start asking him to pick it up. And hopefully he can do a good job without kicking today. Just calm and steady. Now it's important also what we're putting in our heads or what we're sending out. I don't want to say don't kick. I want to say calm and steady. Okay, because I want to send out the right vibes, so to speak. I'm going to start up here at the top of his butt. Foot, deep. Nice work, buddy. That was nice and calm. He was not like this yesterday, guys. So just because things don't go well yesterday or the last time, don't assume that it's not going to go well this time, okay? Try to get their mind every time you're with them. Even so, like yesterday, I was asking him to pick up his feet, and I quit on one where he was nice and calm. That there is more important than how many reps you do. You ready? Foot. Whoops. No pay for that, buddy. So the reason we wait till they're done eating before we ask them to do it again, is because we don't want them to be eating oats and associating eating oats with having this nice pay that they get. Just waiting. We're waiting for him to rethink this and to try to find a different answer. Now, another thing that we do sometimes, and I kind of do it at different points depending on who I'm working with, sometimes we're using a rope to teach them to pick up their feet. And I do think that the rope is good. Um, right now, though, I'm trying to get him comfort with me being around his leg. You could do this with a rope as well, but don't think when you have a rope, it's just to force everything. We're still looking for him to relax with going. All right, are you ready now? Foot, deep. Do you see how fast he picked up his foot? That was nerves, guys. In my experience, that's what it is when they do it really fast. So he found the right answer. He was just scared about it. And you will see them pick it up more deliberately, slower, when they're more calm and confident with what we're doing. One more time, and then we're going to move on to another donkey. I'm waiting for him to kind of be ready. Right now, his head is angled away from me. Now it's coming back over. Now he's ready. Foot, calm, steady. Deep, nice. Good job. All right. So let's see, how much time did it do just for that? Holy smokes. 25 minutes. Remember my rule of going 15? Apparently, I don't follow it very well. All right, let's get this switched over to a new donkey. That was 25 minutes, just 3 times each. Wow. Now remember, often I like to set a timer. That's what I do most of the time. So if you were going 25 minutes and you normally go 15 and your donkey's just starting to fall apart, don't sweat it, guys. But he did well through all of that. Remember, their coping skills grow over time. You're a little pushy, aren't you? A little bit pushy. Okay. So with him, we're going to halter because we just want to keep reviewing what they know. I don't feel like he's ready for the long brush yet. He's a little too squirrely yet. I'm going to grab the halter from over here. When I was walking through the panels, I just knocked my hat brim on the panel. Does that ever happen to you guys? Oh my gosh. Dan's sitting in the side by side, or the bobcat taking a break. Actually, it's not a bobcat. We've always had bobcat brand, and this time he got a deer, but we still call it a bobcat. Kind of funny, huh? I was going to check for comments too. So I better do that. We want to see where people are watching from and what you guys are working with on your donkeys. Holy smokes, this thing is. I think I might need to buy new holders. Let's see. Messages. I don't see anybody posting anything yet. All right. Well, make sure you have questions. Make sure you post them in here, okay? Okay, so when we're introducing a halter, well, this is like perfect. I love where you're standing. You see how he's kind of pushy with the oat pouch? I'm just going to move it to my other side. Nose. Deet. When you're first starting to do this, it's totally okay to pay them for thinking about touching it. We're going to do that again. We're just looking for more comfort. Nose. Deet. He's still a little awkward taking oats from our hands. Then we're going to do neck. Remember, all of this stuff is broke down into baby steps. Neck, deet. You did that one really fast, huh? Remember to bring it in front of him. Because you see how he's coming over to me. I don't want to encourage him to be coming over to me. I want to help him know he always gets paid over here. And if he's like kind of mouthy, it's not something I worry about. That's going to go away when he has more clarity. But when he does at me, I'm just going to play with his mouth. So now we want to be able to, can we pick it up over here without him running off? That can be something that causes them to run off sometimes. Can we come up over their head? Oh, he's like, ooh, what's that over there? You're still you're kind of klutzy with the oats, buddy. If you're nervous about them being klutzy with the oats, you can just put it in a feed pan and give it to them that way. And you can also do all this stuff without oats. We're going to be going live second time today with Nuala and Nuda and an update from the donkey experiment. That one is members only, guys. And the donkey experiment, we're training one donkey with oats and one without. So we're going to have a big update. We'll go live with that. He's just curious. If he starts putting his head down by my leg like he just was, I am not going to just stand around and hope. I have my hand down there to help block if he starts to get mouthy or something. Like I always want to have safety first, right? All right. So now, can I go up over his head? Deet. That can cause them to like run off sometimes if they're too nervous. Remember, if he's coming at you for more oats, we don't need to scold them. We just need to be consistent. Play with their mouth. Little blow, that's good. Now the next step of this is to build up, grab it from the other side. A little tangled there. So now this one here, I've had many runs when I do that. There you go, good job. So we're just checking in with them. Now later on, once they're trained to do this, let's say you're going to catch them in a pasture or a bigger pen, you're gonna know because when you go to catch them, when you go like this, they lean away, that's your first, they're not gonna stay with you. So we're always just trying to build on this stuff. Now we'll see if we can get him to put his nose in here. Nose. Oh, he's gotta go. It's okay. Right now, if he's gotta go, you are so funny. If he's got to go, if we release right when he starts thinking about going, we are not reinforcing if you get nervous, just go and the pressure will go away because he's just thinking about being nervous. If we waited till it was a wrestling match, then we would be teaching that. So that's a big difference, guys. When they're thinking that they might be nervous, that's when you want to release. And you're just kind of saying to him, "Oh, I see that you're scared. I'm aware." See, now he's starting to get more walky where he was standing pretty still earlier. So another one that I like to do, and I was thinking I could bypass, why I don't know, is to get them to put their nose through the halter. Right now he's too focused on my shirt. Look at here. So maybe they're too nervous to actually put their nose through here. You could put your hand through there and build up to it. Everything is in baby steps. There you go. Oh, look at you. You're doing it. Good job. Because that's another point where they get nervous. And we're trying to help them be comfortable and confident with everything that we're doing. And they'll get to the point where they'll just stick their nose right in there. They don't care. There you go. Put your nose in there. There you go. Good job. Good job. Now, do I do this later on? No, later on, he won't even get oats to get a halter on. Okay. This is because he's wild. You could do the same thing with a really nervous one, um, even if they're domestic, right? But all I'm doing is trying to help build up his confidence and have good experiences. I'm laying down a foundation that I really hope is going to last his lifetime. And sometimes go sideways, right? Oh, and he's already got to go. I can see if I can stay with him. He's got to go. Just let him go. It's okay. I think Dan was playing with haltering him and he stopped him in his tracks. Yeah. So if you hang on, remember this one can backfire on you. When you come here, if he tries to go, I could try to grab him and keep him with me just like that and see if he will. Deet, when you do that, he stayed with me. Yay. But you don't necessarily need to put it on then, okay? He was already nervous. He started to go. I put on some pressure and kept him with me. You can't always pull that off though when you try. So if I would have still put it on when he was nervous, I really wouldn't have been taking things at a pace that he's ready to go with. So right there, I wouldn't necessarily put it on because we're just trying to prepare him to put the halter on, not force him to do it. I want his mind more than I want the halter on. If we did the whole session today and I never got the halter on, but I helped his mind be with me, that is a win. So let's do this again and see if he can stay with me better. You see, his head's pretty straight, but it did go away, even though it didn't actually leave. Nose. He's thinking about leaving. Deet. Don't put it on yet, okay? Let's build up his confidence. Hey, you. Now, after he can do it, you feel pretty confident. You want to feel pretty confident that he's going to stay with you before you actually put on the halter. His head's going down. He's kind of releasing some pressure right there. Did you tie it yesterday, Dan? You did tie it. Okay. So another thing when we're putting a halter on the first times, we don't always tie it right away. You got to watch and see, are they going to stay with you? Because anytime we get too committed to what our goal is, pay him here. If he's got to go and we can't have the time we need to tie it, then you've gone too fast. Okay. There he's starting to go. Now, when you're putting on a halter, that is the lesson for him with where he's at right now. The lesson is just to put on the halter. So I don't want him so uptight and worked up. You see it's loose right now. That's because I'm just trying to get it on. But if you have to rush too much to put it on, missing the point. Okay? We want to help him have comfort with what we're doing. Take it off. At this stage, I pay them again because I want all of this to be a good experience. Let's come forward, buddy. Let's do it one more time. Remember, I like to do threes. Maybe I should do it 3 times. Hi. You can just play and goof. It's okay. Remember not to take yourself too seriously while you're out here. We can get so focused on our agenda. Nose. See here, I'm holding it. I'm not touching him. He's putting his nose in there. He's got to walk. I can kind of use my own judgment. Like right here, I could be just as good off just to stop putting it on because he's got to walk. That's not a comfort. Here you go. And then I can take it right back off because I'm helping him be comfortable with this experience. There you go. There you go. You see, he comes at me with his mouth. Not pinching, but I'm kind of grabbing his lips. You know, if you want to come, that's fine. I'm going to play with your lips then, which I'm going to want to do later on anyways, you know, like for bedding purposes, or if your animal's going to be a riding animal or pulling a cart, then you need to have, you know, a bridle in their mouth. So you're just a silly boy. He's young. He's just 2. Nose. If you can walk with them, that's cool. There, good job. He's a little bothered there. 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 He wants his pay already. Hey, you're going to have to wait till it gets put on. You're just a goofball. So, hey. I'm just going to retie it here. He's standing still. Remember, we're trying to end on a positive note. Helping him be okay, tying this on here could be a way to help him understand he doesn't need to move his feet. Okay? The more I play with this here, the more pay you get, the better experience, and then hopefully the better foundation. There we go. All right, there's donkey number 2. He gets so pushy. He's pretty funny. So that was about 15 minutes because we went to 25, so 13 minutes. Now let's go to the next donkey. Now look at, here's Dan. He was just working hard, unloading all that hay. I am so happy to have all that hay. Sorry, spinning you guys around. Hopefully you can see all the hay back there. I can't even tell. Yeah, I can't tell if you can see it. It's so bright out here. If he starts to pin his ears, I'm just gonna get big, okay? I'm not gonna like start screaming at him or anything. I'm just gonna get big, kind of claim my space. All right, was Fuzzy. Fuzzy is very fuzzy. That's how he got his name. All right. Okay, so there you can see Fuzzy. Now with Fuzzy, I'm touching him on his left side, and he's really doing quite awesome with that. And Um, I haven't touched him on his right tail yet. Well, I did with the long stick, okay, but not with my hand. So when we're helping them get ready for touch, what we're looking for is for him to relax in the moment. When he can relax in the moment, then we're getting closer. Okay, I can see him. Now this is his right side, the one I've touched it with the long stick. But look at where my head is facing. I'm not looking at him, still not looking at him. Now I'm standing next to him. There are times that you could be right here and they can't stand still for this. I think this long stick is, I don't know, 6 feet. I'm probably 6 or 8 feet away from him. And look at that, he already can't stand still. I'm gonna take a step back and then front, take a step back. I want him flush. Okay, now he's gotta go. I'm gonna try to get him back in the camera view. All right.
I'm just over here spying.
Are you a spy, Dan?
Yeah.
When they're at this stage, it's a lot harder to keep them in there. Okay, now I'm walking, I'm asking him to walk. Now I'm asking him to stop. When I first asked them to stop, I don't need to ask anymore. Let him process that. He's learning to read my intention. There was a blink. Letting out big breaths. Sometimes when we let out a big breath or yawn, it'll help them to do the same thing. It can be good to try to have your feet the same as theirs. Now he's
Right side is his weak side, right?
yeah, I've only touched it with the long stick. I haven't touched it with my hand. Maybe we'll be able to do that on the live today. We'll see. There's a blink. Now notice even though he's blinking a little bit, he's really staring at me. While he's staring at me, I don't want to do a lot. I'm waiting for him to look away before I do any more because right now this is what I want. I want his attention on me. Now, if he stands here too long and I become impatient, or if he's standing here so long and it's just ready to move on, we're ready for the next level. Little head shake. Now he's looking away. I can put my foot just one little tiny step. Now he's like, ooh, she moved. I'm looking at her again. Blinking. I could rock the baby just back and forth. You see how I moved and he turned more towards me? Rocking here is just helping him get used to movement. Now I can reach him with my long stick from where I'm standing. And, oh, is he gonna move? No. I could make my long stick taller in my hands here and then just kind of wait for him to turn around his head away from me. And when he does that, then I am going to touch him with my long stick, or at least pretend to. If I put my long stick over there and he starts flinching or moving, well, then it's too much. When I started this on his left side, I couldn't even stand here next to him because he would have to go. Okay, now I'm going to put my stick out. He looked away, so that was my opportunity to put my stick out. I'm petting the air and I'm watching for his responses. He's not doing anything. Okay, now I'm going to pet him with my long stick. I'm going to wait for him to blink. There, he blinked, and I'm going to take it away. Now, yesterday when I was doing the same thing, when I would take it away, I would also leave and go to the other end of the little pen that we're in. Now, because yesterday I was doing that, helping him find the answer, today I don't need, because he's showing comfort, right? He's not totally worked up, waiting for a sign of relaxation. There it was with that blink. Take it away. Now, I he just took a step towards me, I think. I saw it out of my corner of my eye, so I'm not sure. When he looks away now, I could start getting closer to him. Right now, having a stick, I can put the long stick down and then start putting my arm out. I have to cough. Excuse me. There's some blinking. Because he's still looking at me, I could just keep rocking the baby. Just help him get used to a little bit of movement. That wind is blowing around sand and dirt and stuff, but it does feel nice because it's pretty hot down here. Now, remember, guys, put in here what you're working on. What have you been doing with your donkeys this weekend? We have big updates. We're going to be going live a second time today, and we have big updates for the donkey experiment. That is a lot of blinking that he's doing right now.
Jamie wants to know what you use for treats.
Oh, we use rolled or crimped oats. And it's important to use rolled or crimped. Oats, the whole ones are bad, so rolled or crimped. Oh, he looked away. I'm going to take a step closer. And you notice right now I'm not using any oats with him. Dan does feed him oats, Fuzzy here. Um, but right now I'm helping him read my body language, my intention. I'm helping him get comfortable with us on the sides. Like Dan got dong eating oats early on at the very beginning, but then we couldn't stand next to him because he was nervous. So then I came in with a long stick and just helped him have comfort. And dong is who will he I can't talk. Dong is who we will do next. He'll be the last one. Now, sometimes when I'm doing this, trying to get closer to the donkey, um, I might take another step and he might say, "Oh, that's close, I gotta go," right? But right now, I don't really want to take any more steps because I haven't stood this close to him before on his right side. Remember, their right and their left side is like two completely different animals. If they've met you on their left side, they have no idea who you are on their right. Their brains work so much differently than us. It's a lot of blinking. His lips are pretty relaxed from what I can tell at this angle. I don't see a lot of wrinkles or anything. This is a pretty brave donkey. Oh my gosh, I want him to look away so bad. Hurry up and look away, Fuzzy. Patience is so much trouble. It's so hard and it's so needed. Remember what a donkey is always trying to figure out when they're assessing everything that's happening around them, why it takes them so much time to decide to commit to something is because they're trying to decide if they're safe. Do you see how he's kind of leaning away? If I went further right now, he would probably go. So I'm just going to stay right where I'm at and the power of the pause. Oh, okay. I'm just going to pause because now I'm closer to him with my long stick. He's still looking away, so I can come closer yet. Now, because I'm getting closer, I don't want him to move his feet. If he moves his feet, I've lost the game. I'm going to pet him. Oh, that's a good job. I could pet the air, help him get used to that, watching for a sign of relaxation, not coming. Look at, he's getting ready to go. Like a blink, a ear twitch. Anything is going to show me that he's not terrified he's going to die at the moment. Nothing. Look at that. Nothing. His ears are not moving. His eyes are not moving, but his feet are getting ready to go. If I can stay with him and not add any more pressure, there was that sign of relaxation. Now I actually want to walk away. That was a lot for him. That's why I'm walking away this time. Before, what I was doing was the same as what we had been doing, not too much more. There, he looked away. Now, remember when you're giving him a break, like 30 seconds, sometimes a minute. Now, right now, the angle that he's at, I'm not super keen on it. And the reason is he could easily turn to go this way. He could turn away from me to go that way. If he does that, I'm in a perfect line to get kicked. So I'd rather have him flush up against the fence. Um, and he has hardly even smelt my hands or anything. And yet he's curious. So when he was in the warehouse, that's the area that we have donkeys that are waiting for adoption. When he was in the warehouse, he was starting to show a lot of curiosity. So we decided we would bring him in here to start gentling him. Hi, buddy. And then when we did, his curiosity went away. He's like, wait a minute, this is huge, guys. Even though my goal is to try to touch his side, him getting curious to come and think about smelling me, when he's done here, I'm going to want to turn and walk away. Now, notice when this is happening, I am keeping a very monotone voice and I'm not moving. Okay. Because he's getting brave enough to show curiosity. I don't want to ruin that by scaring him. And if we don't keep our voice monotone, we're quite likely to scare them. He's blinking. He's still looking at me, blinking. So now I'm just trying to give him enough of a break. Remember, 30 to 60 seconds. I often will walk away and then I'll count to 30 or I'll count to 60, 1,000, 1,000. And then sometimes even longer. Like sometimes their breaks, oh, he's looking and chewing now, guys. Sometimes their breaks could be 5 minutes or 15 or 30. And what we notice a lot when we go work with a different animal, 15 minutes later, he might be looking and chewing or blowing, like he's still coming down from the anxiety of what happened, still processing it. I'm asking him to move. There you go. I won't. Stay out of kicking range. I'll try to get him back in front of the camera right there. So I'm staying in his drive line right now to drive him forward. And then when I want him to stop, I'm going to go closer up by his neck. I really want his body flush with the panels because I don't want him to be able to turn around and then kick me. Like, surprise, here's a nice kick for you. Keep yourself safe. So now by doing this, he's learning to move from my body language. He's learning to stop from my body language. He's learning what my intention is. Before we started gentling him, he had no reason to pay attention to somebody's intention. It was always just like, scared, run. Well, what am I waiting for before I start to do anything more again? I'm waiting for him to turn away from me, just his head, not his body. Dan, how long have I been going with Fuzzy?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. Look at him. He's starting to come towards me. I am going to just try to keep my body in line with his. I can pet the air, silhouette his ears, because who doesn't love his ears, right? Just get him used to a little bit of movement. We don't want that movement to be scary when it's time to touch them or put a halter on. I want to take a step towards you. You have to look away. There we go. I could rock the baby here because now I'm way closer than I've ever been to him on his right side. If I had longer arms, I could touch from here. Now remember, when you're going for first touch, if you're leaning and touching them at the same time, that's going to be more intimidating. Okay, so if I can stand upright and touch him, that's going to be less intimidating. That's what we're looking for. Here's something that does not matter. I've chapstick in my pocket, right? So I put chapstick on, then I come down here to the barn. Then I got this big water glass. It's pink, big old giant water glass that I keep down here with me. And oh my gosh, that thing always looks like so filthy dirty. Like I have the dirtiest lips in the whole world, probably because I'm always putting on chapstick and then the wind blows or I'm cleaning the pens. Okay, he's looking away. Now I'm going to try to see if I can see he's starting to go. If I come closer, he's going to go. And this is what we're learning to read with our donkeys. How much pressure can they handle before they got to go? You see that? Okay, so I'm trying to read that body language. I want you to go forward. Go forward. There you go. As soon as he leaned, I stopped that pressure, right? Because I want him to learn to go, and I only wanted one step this time, right? Hi, you. Right now, he has a parrot lip. It's not dramatic, but he does one. I can just kind of pet him with my long stick. Once I start touching him with my long stick, you see his head drop there? He's getting ready to go. Okay, I can just back up and say, oh, I see that you were nervous. Once I start touching him with my long stick, I typically bring it in. It's like it gives me a way to have a longer arm, right? So it allows me to check in until they're like really comfortable with me walking up to touch them. I keep using my long stick. I want to come back and approach him again, but he's still looking at me. So I should try to be patient and not approach him yet. He is not going to take his eyes off from me. There, we got it. Good. Try to come closer again. Did you see him just dip his head just the smallest amount? That's a sign that he's starting to get nervous. His eyes looked away. He's got to go. I can just say, oh gosh, I see that you're nervous. I do want you to be flush up against this panel though. A little bit more. There you go. Nice job. So here I can be petting him. Oh, he's got to go. Remember, I'm trying to release when they relax. So I could come here, watch for there. Did you see he kind of looked at me? Releasing now is creating curiosity. If I release when he's getting ready to go, or when he's already committed to going, I'm teaching him to go away, and that will release the pressure. If I can release when he's thinking about going, I'm telling him, oh, I see that you're nervous. And if I can release when he starts to think about me, I'm creating curiosity, building up his confidence and his coping skills. It's the hardest thing to wait when you want to just reach out and touch him, right? He's doing a lot of blinking right now. And that's probably him processing. Remember, they're always trying to decide if they're safe. They're assessing, if I let her touch me, will I die? Is she going to eat me? And that's truly his concern. When we give him enough time to process, he's deciding, oh gosh, she's been touching me with that long red thing and it hasn't hurt. She hasn't ate me. We already have a little bit of confidence built up from touching him on his left side. And now we're going to keep building on that. His eye is pretty heavy right now. Still waiting. So while we're waiting, a side note, Frank will be coming in. So next week, we have the clinic here in Roundup. So we'll be doing that next week. And then when we are done with that clinic, Frank will be coming in to start getting trained under saddle. So he already has all the basic groundwork. So we're going to give him a refresher. He just turned 3. He'll get a refresher on all the groundwork, and then we will be starting him under saddle. So that's going to be something. Frank is a wild Mustang, not a donkey. But all the methods that I use for training a donkey are the same that I use for training a horse or a mule. The only difference is how fast you get to move through a step. Because a donkey is assessing if they're safe. A horse or a mule, they're more likely to try to guess an answer and say, is that right? But a donkey, not so much going to guess. They're going to wait till they figure it out. So that's why when I'm doing these different steps with a a Mustang or a mule or horse, I get to do the same steps. I just get to through things most of the time faster than I do with the donkey. He started to turn away. This is big. So brave. I want him to read my intention. He's not reading it. Walk. There. Did you see? He looked forward and I stopped. Whoops. Wrong way. I want you to go the other way. It's probably been close to 15 minutes with him.
15 minutes now. 15 minutes.
All right. We're going to stop with him. I'm going to get him back in place. So you guys can't see me now, but I'm like stomping feet and hitting my hand on my pant leg. I'm going to tickle his back legs with this, get him to move. He's kind of freezing up. There. Okay. Go quick before he gets too far. Okay, I'm just going to come and touch him one last time so that we're ending on a good note. I don't want to end his session while he's scared. He just showed me curiosity and then he got scared and he left, right? That would be a bad time for me to end his session because we're not quitting on one where he's calm. Now, if he'll ever look away from me. So here, this is my second session working on his side, guys. And I bet you I did, I don't know, maybe 6 sessions on his left side till he got comfortable enough for me to touch him. So don't worry if you're not getting this done in one session. That's okay because we're after their mind, not the activity we're trying to accomplish. When we get their mind, it's going to be lasting. It'll be a good foundation. If we're rushing through to try to touch, we're not building up the coping skills, and that's going to matter later on with whatever you're deciding to do with your donkey. Dan, if you make a noise over there, will he look at you? Apparently not. Buzz.
Yoo-hoo!
So the reason he's not looking away is he's afraid, guys. He's assessing danger. There, he looked away. I'm going to touch him with my long stick. Wait for a sign of relaxation. There we go. And then I'm going to walk away. Okay. He's probably going to go away. I'll get the camera and we will go over to dong, dong. All right. This will work over here. All right, so now he walked away. Now we got dong. He's our last one for today, guys. You guys get 4 today. Last week we only did 3. All right. Let's see if we can see him. All right, so with Dong, what we're working on is asking him to pick up his feet when we ask. This is new to him. Hey, buddy. Now, when you're doing this, you want them to be square on one side. Now, we're going to review with what he already knows, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Notice we're at liberty. I feel like when I teach this stuff at liberty, if they got to go, they can go. Make sure they have a way out. I'm going to try to turn them so I'm not just sticking my butt at you guys. There we go. Good job. Good job. Okay. So I'm starting with what he already knows, the countdown. And when I'm doing the countdown, it gives me the opportunity to see if he's nervous about anything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Did you see him start to lean backwards? He was getting ready to go. So when they lean backwards, I simply just go from where I was because I reached a spot that he's nervous about. I think it's great that you guys are here watching. Some of you guys are watching during the live. Some of you guys are coming on and watching the replay. Um, we have lots of different things, ways to help you guys with your donkeys. Feet is one of those that come a lot. Like I get a lot of questions about feet. I feel like this system of teaching them is really laying a great foundation. And I've heard a lot of stories from farriers around the area about how great our donkeys do that we've taught to pick up their feet because we're looking for their mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep. There, I got up higher before he moved his feet. Yay. So if you guys are getting value from this, you guys hit that like button. That's so helpful. Commenting helps a ton in the algorithm. There is even a thing when you hit like now that it gives you the option to hype a video and you can hype it. When you do all of this stuff, guys, it helps other people find the channel so that they can get the help that they need or want for the donkeys. Are you ready? Now you see how the far side is so close together? That'll make it harder for him to pick up his feet. I'll go ahead and try. We'll see what he can do. But if he can't do well, know that his far side is too close together. All right, let's do it. Foot, deep. So you guys watched us introducing the long brush to ding. And now this is the next step with dong. Right now, grabbing his foot, I'm asking him to be able to do the same thing he did with the long brush with me standing beside him. If I go to try to pick up his foot before he's ready, he's not going to be here, right? And what I'm doing is it's not about the task, it's about laying down this foundation. Are you ready? He just tilted his head towards me. He's ready. Foot. He's got to go. Try to go with him. Deep. Now, if they get too committed to backing up, I would just tie him up. Okay. Because it doesn't take long before they learn that, oh, this is a way to get away from that scary pressure, right? But right now, we're helping him just get comfortable. Oh, now he's doing the same thing Ding did, going to the opposite side, but we're working with your right side today, buddy. Are you ready? So here, this is again, guys, it can be so hard to be patient, but being patient is really what it's all about with these donkeys. Laying down a good foundation, be patient, and it'll come. Every donkey is different with how fast you can work through something. Okay, so right now, like when I'm petting him, going down his leg to get ready to ask for him to pick it up, I can see if he starts to lean that he's getting nervous. There, he's stepping into me. Foot, deep. Okay, that's 3 times on that foot. That's all we're going to do on that foot. Okay, because we're building up his confidence. And if I go too fast, too soon, I would be doing the opposite of building his confidence. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing back here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Just checking to see if he's comfortable. Then come up here and pay him. Do you remember how pushy he was with the oats? Dong used to be the same way. Now, when you're coming back here to do this, we already tested with the long brush that they're okay with touch. Keep your leg right next to theirs, okay? He feels like he's getting ready to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Now I'm going to come. I don't want him taking oats way over in my space. I want him taking oats out in front of him. Okay, your leg right in front of him, and that way if he were to go kick, he doesn't have as much power. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deet. Again, pay him way out in front of him, not overturned towards you. Now this time I'm going to ask him to pick up his foot. Now we did what he knows 3 times, right, with a countdown. And then I can do based on how he's doing. If I do 3 times, you see how he's turned his towards me, we can go ahead and ask. If he's too worked up, I don't have to do it 3 times. There we go. Foot, deet. Nice work, buddy. Out in front of him. Good job. Now later on, when you ask them to pick up their foot, you hope and hope and hope that they're going to go on their toe. And this is where it's nice to have 2 people, because then one person can be oating them and the other person is petting and rubbing their leg, getting them more used to touch and movement and the feel of your hands on their leg. But he's not ready for that yet because he has not gone on his toe. I want him to naturally go on his toe when I do that. And how long it takes of asking him to pick up his feet before they do is different for every donkey. Okay, now his foot is kind of hidden underneath him. It's okay. I can still ask. There, he's shifting. That's better. Okay, so now my foot next to his, and you're turning your body. You're like a C. Foot, deet. Nice work. I think that's 3. Sometimes I lose count. I think that's 3. So now let's turn you this way. These oat pouches that we like to use, I like that you can just switch. It just has a little clip on it, so you can just switch it to your other pocket. It's easy to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There he started to shift. Deep. I said deep before he moved his foot, but I shouldn't have gone as far. Now, notice something. This is something that gives me a false sense of security. When I start doing the countdown, or even asking them to pick up their foot with my hand, I stand kind of at an angle. Know that if you're standing right here at their shoulder, your donkey can kick you and connect. Okay? So try to keep your body in a safe position. You can have somebody with a halter on. Um, and I also start often facing the other direction. That way, if I were to get kicked, they're kicking me in the rear and not in my head. But we've worked with him enough. We know where he's at. There, he brought his foot forward. He's ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deet. Did you see him start to shift his weight? He was getting ready to go. So I did not stop the countdown. I just went higher up. Now, I came in here with the intention of asking him to pick up his foot. But if he can't stand still for the countdown, we're not ready to move to that step. So pay attention to your donkey, see them, see where they're at, and then help them with where they're at that day. Because it can be different. It can be different from hour to hour. It can be different from day to day. And then we have to try to be a detective. Why is it different? Is it different because we didn't see them? Is it different because there's a snake in the corner or somebody is here with a semi unloading hay? Like, those are all reasons that can affect. So try to be a detective and do your best guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deet. There, he handled that well. Here you go, buddy. Now I can start asking for his foot. Now remember, once you start trying to hold them, I really try to reposition them so that their far side is square. Okay, if their far side is square, they can balance better. Donkeys really, really like their balance, and that's why people have so much trouble teaching them to pick up their feet. Foot, deet. Notice I said deet when he shifted his weight. The other thing I did that you might not be able to see from there is I was holding his foot, right, like this, and then I opened my hand. When he started to shift his weight, I opened my hand. There's a release of pressure there, and then I can wait for it, and you can watch them. It's like watching a tower fall over, right? It can be kind of like in slow motion because we're dealing with donkeys, but they start to shift their weight, and then eventually they pick up their leg, right? It can be very slow motion. Now, if they're not doing any of that and you feel like you're stalled, you can ask again, but not at this stage. Ready? Foot, deet. Because right now we're still getting up his confidence and understanding, clarity. Do you guys remember the 5 C's? Curiosity, clarity. Remember what we're working on? We're working on confident or connection and cooperation. So curiosity, clarity. No, I forgot. Oh, and comfort, right? So like right now, is he comfortable with me standing next to him? Fuzzy is not. Is he comfortable with me touching him on his leg? Is he in pain anywhere? Comfort. Foot. Feet. Does he understand what I'm asking? Curiosity. Does he want to come in and participate, or is he running off to go hide? Okay. You saw curiosity being formed with Fuzzy when he was starting to come towards me and wanting to smell my hand a little bit. When we can retreat, when we can release pressure, when they start to think about what we're asking, we are creating curiosity. Your leg right next to theirs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deet. Notice I'm squatting more than I'm bending over. I feel more safe when I do it like that. This is something also when you start touching their back legs. Are you ready to go again? You just stepped into me. Are you ready to go again, huh? I would hand legs to start off with facing forward, right? So that if they kick me, it's in the back of my leg, not breaking my kneecap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deet. I think that's 2. I get to talking and then I forget to count.
He is such a handsome gentleman.
Isn't he?
Just an absolute.
And he's a beast. He's so stout, so strong looking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deet. Okay, the next one is going to be asking him to pick it up. Yeah, he is a good looking boy. Ding and dong, fuzzy and wuzzy. I'm excited we're going to be able to go get more donkeys now. Now that we got more hay. Okay, I'm going to ask for his foot. Foot. Deet. Okay, so the amount of pressure that I'm putting on his leg right now when I'm asking is so little, I wouldn't even be able to pick up a tablet of paper, okay? It's little. I'm planting the seed of what I want him to do, helping him have comfort with it. Later on, you might have to put more pressure, but if we do this part right and your donkey is cooperating, there are 2 parts to it, right? He has his own mind. If they're cooperating, they'll start to understand that that little tiny pressure is all that we need, right? And the more we can release with the little tiny pressure, the more we can keep growing what we want. Okay? Standing with your leg right beside his. Foot. Deet. Nice work, buddy. One more time and then you're done. Okay, guys, remember, if you guys are enjoying this and finding value and it's helping you, make sure you hit that like button. You can hype the video to help more people find us because there's a lot of people that don't understand how to work with a donkey. They're just so different than a horse. Foot. Feet. Notice all he did was shift his weight. Okay. We need to be releasing when they shift their weight. Later on, we can ask for more. And later on, we're going to be so lucky that he'll go on his toe and we can do the next step of this process. Is there any more questions out there from people that are not sure or not sure about how to do something? There you are. Okay. Because we're here. We're here to answer questions. We're here to help you through your journey. And we're glad that you came on and joined us. This here is Dong, part of Ding Dong. I think he is going to be just one of the most awesome animals. And after he's gentled, he'll be available along with Ding and Fuzzy and Wuzzy. So Thanks again for joining, and you guys have an amazing day.